G'day guys, welcome back to Smashing Plastic Vlog. My name's Richard. Today I'm going to be continuing my chat about the hobby side of gaming, that's building terrain and painting minis. In particular today I'm going to be looking at some roads that I'm developing for a modular city that I've been building. Now I don't profess to be an expert on this stuff. There's a lot of people doing amazing things out there. In fact, there's a few people in Brisbane that are professional terrain builders and miniature painters, and hopefully I might be able to do a couple of interviews with them at some point. But up until now, this is just about me getting my creative juices flowing and getting a bit of inspiration perhaps from you guys out there. So hopefully you like what you see, and let's get into it. Now first things first, I want to lay down the base for my roads, and as per usual I'll get the trusty foam core. There it is. In this case I've managed to find some black stuff which works well for the roads, and then the next thing I do is grab some really coarse wet and dry, some sandpaper, and then just bung a bunch of glue on the back of it, stick it down, and hey presto, where is it? There it is. You've got your section of road. So I've glued the wet and dry onto the foam core, and you know, it's pretty boring. It's just straight black, right? But it's got all that nice texture to it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is grab some grey paint, some cheap stuff from, you can even buy it, cheap acrylic. You can buy it from newsagents even. And then what I'm going to do is dry brush that onto the surface of the road so that the raised areas pick up the light grey, and that should give it a little bit more depth. So make sure you use a shitty brush or a brush that's just about had it, because basically dry brushing wrecks brushes, and especially if you're doing it on sandpaper. So that stencil paper or stencil sheet I've got there, I picked up from an art supply shop. They've got heaps of different stuff that you can choose from, but that plastic is really durable and I can use it a lot over and over again. And I've just used a piece of dowel there to mark out around the edges before I make some cuts. That mat board I've got there is excellent because it's got lots of 45-degree angles, etc. on it, so it makes it easy for making quick cuts. And then that's the stencil finish for doing the hazard markings on the street. And then I'm just starting to build the frame there, and then that one's for the main roads. Right, so I've got my stencils made. I've got one for up the middle of the road, the main road sections, and I've got the other one here which is going to put some hazard lines down the side of the smaller parts of the road. So I'm going to head outside and lay down some spray paint and see how it turns out.
Spray paint, yeah. Psh, psh, psh. Yeah, some more. Psh. Another one, yeah. Psh, 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 psh. And one more. Psh, psh, psh. Yeah, yeah. Psh, 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 psh.
I went a little bit overboard with building the frame for my stencil here, but I'm going to get a lot of use out of it and it will keep it accurate every time. So all I do is drop that over my section of road, like so. Good to go. And I'll run some paint over that and it should come up a treat. In order to do this one, unfortunately I don't have any yellow spray paint, so what I'm going to do is use the trusty old airbrush. Now I picked this up from the hobby shop. It's an entry-level compressor and airbrush, and I think it ended up costing me around 300 bucks, something like that, but I get a lot of use out of it and I think it's a good investment. So I'm going to set that up and bang out some road markings. Just a quick one on airbrushing. The paint that I use is Tamiya, and there it is, there we go. And I use Tamiya acrylic thinner as well, and all I do before I pop it in the airbrush is just get myself a little jar and a little eyedropper, and one part of each, and it comes out with a really good opaque coverage. So I've given it a bit of a test run, make sure that my paint flow is nice and even and without too many splotches, and then I'm going to give it a go. Alright, so I've got my piece of road here. I'm going to chuck my stencil down on top, and away we go. Let's see how it turns out. Look. Excellent. I'm happy with how that turned out. So there's one thing left to do, and that's to lay out all the roads and see how it looks. I'm going to combine it with the pavement that I made over the last couple of weeks, and I think it's going to look pretty cool. So let's check it out. Thanks heaps for watching. I hope you got something out of that. Maybe got a bit inspired, want to go start building some of your own terrain. If you want to contact me, get hold of me on Twitter at AxeKickerKelly. Please check out Smashing Plastics review shows as well on YouTube. Guys, if you want to leave me some comments, thumbs up, that'd be great. You know how the internet works. And hopefully I'll see you back next time when I'm going to start looking at building some buildings for the city. See ya!